Well, I'm trying my best. Normally, I'm at the park at 4 a.m. in the morning. Today, well, it's 5 a.m. Got Nacho playing. Here, let's turn the music off because I do not want to get one of my YouTube strikes listening to my favorite song of all time. There is no doubt somehow down the road I need to get permission from the people that made Nacho Libre to have that song playing now and then in my videos, because in case you haven't figured it out by now, I am Nacho Libre. I'm a guy with a big heart that believes for some reason or another he's destined for great things. Doesn't quite fit in where he worked. They kicked him out of work, and now he's trying to find his destiny. So nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to switch over from the nocturnal animal, trying to get more of a regular schedule. So instead of coming to the park at 4 a.m. today, I'm here at 5 a.m. And then maybe later on in the week, it'll be 5:30. And then maybe at the end of the month, it'll be 6 o'clock. I need to kind of change my circadian rhythm, as they call it, because I've been definitely a nocturnal creature these last couple of months, and need to get back to more of a walking around in the daylight hours. I need to focus on kindness instead of justice. So this last few months has been a journey for me in the wilderness, facing my past and the things that I've done, and history repeats itself. It's just kind of one of the themes in life. And I like to think that, as my sweetheart says, I looked into the abyss, I stared into it, and it stared back into me, and I'm still whole, and I'm still good, and I'm ready to bring kindness to the world. So I'm a little bit sad this morning because I had my big meeting and I put it all on the table, and I thought, hey, there's nothing else I can do until October 8th to the next step in the process. So I don't have to focus or think about or worry about this whole thing with the monastery. Nacho Libre got kicked out of the monastery. Well, so did I. I got kicked out of the monastery. That's what I'm going to say from now on. It's hard not to think about the monastery because there are orphans at the monastery that really need me and really appreciate me. So I miss the orphans more than you can imagine. It's hard for me not to think of the orphans. In the movie Nacho Libre, Nacho takes quite a bit of abuse. He gets punched in the face. He takes all kinds of abuse at that monastery, but he keeps coming back. It's just kind of an interesting story. In Nacho Libre, he trains by playing with bulls and getting tossed like a rag doll. He throws beehives at his friends. There's a lot of different interesting ways that Nacho Libre trains to become the luchador of destiny with eagle powers. My favorite is a friend of his partner in crime, shoots him in the chest with a cantaloupe and it explodes. Now, there are no coincidences, there are only miracles. I might have to go home to the garden and point this camera at the cantaloupe that is growing in my garden. Maybe, just maybe, I can convince my son we can buy like a water balloon launcher and he can shoot that cantaloupe out of the catapult at his dad, just for old time's sake. I think that might be the funniest Nacho Libre moment ever. And then we take the cantaloupe inside and eat it, because hey, waste not, want not. I don't know if there'll be any homeless people here today walking around. I sure hope that eventually, if they do see me over here, they kind of approach me and say hello. That's kind of the feel that I would like to have in this whole situation, that I'm not anybody that they need to be afraid of. I'm not anybody that's going to hurt them. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm the guy that's here to help anybody that needs help. So, all right, enough of the finer things. I need to get my pull-ups in. Let me see if I can get a couple pull-ups in here. Let me see if I can put this somewhere. Will you be able to see me? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. This is probably not going to work. This thing is so slippery from condensation. Oh, I broke my phone. Oh, man. Nope, still going. But anyway. All right, it's time for some pull-ups.